Hey, I thought I'd start with something fun. Normally, what happens when I teach a class is people will say, more stories, or they'll say, we love your stories. I'm probably going to weave some in before we get through all the modules, but I wanted to highlight a couple of stories for your interest because I think everybody has a story. And if you are looking to learn how to squirt or improve your squirting, you already have your own story. Here's some from the field. One of the best all time favorite compliments I ever got happened to be from a couple that I had helped squirt. I was giving a class at a lifestyle takeover in Las Vegas. They came to the class. They asked for me to do some coaching one on one because they had been around this a long time. And she kept getting in her head all that, all that, all that. And we'll unpack all of this in the class. But after meeting with them, I could definitely see how, even despite their best intentions, he was afraid to touch her. Sometimes that happens when he can't do it right. She gets in her head, he gets in his head, or whatever mix of genders you're playing with. But givers and receivers, they get in their head. Such was the case with this particular couple. I worked with them. I was surprised because they seemed like they had everything they needed to make it work, except for a whole lot of baggage going on between the two of them for probably all the times they had tried and all the other things they were bringing into their bedroom. You know what I mean? Anyhow, all to say, the next day I had a squirting class again, same event, and I'm about to finish the class, and in they walked. And I thought, uh-oh, because they didn't look happy. She looked like she had been crying. And I'm finishing the class, and he raised his hand and he said, we would just like to say a few things. Naturally, I'm like, this could go either way. This could go either way, but he was on his feet and he turned to my audience and he said, we didn't know where to find you, Dr. O'Neill, but we knew you'd be here. Oh, holy cow. You left, and about an hour later, she finally squirted. And we stayed there holding each other, crying for another hour. And he said, we haven't gotten out of the hotel room since. It's changed everything. Now, was it the squirting orgasm that changed everything? I'm going to tell you no, not to disappoint you, but no. It was the trial, the error, the victory, right? The intimacy of them working, 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 and finally creating something that they were just astounded and in pleasure about. Anyway, it was a beautiful moment for all of us. By the time he finished his story, I'm not sure that there was many dry eyes in the house. Naturally, that's an all-time favorite. How about this one? Not so happy for her. She came to me, but I'll tell you, I've heard it since that time. A woman came to me and said, I don't know what is going on. I have these really juicy, wet orgasms, and my husband is cross because he thinks I just pee in the bed. And can you hear it? Lots of shame there. He thinks I pee in the bed, so now he doesn't want to have sex because I just pee in the bed. What is going on with me? Can you help? Well, what a crying ass shame for her, right? I'm sorry to be so crass about that, but something so beautiful and her body was not understood and, in fact, shamed and put down. So ask me what else she had to say, right? The sex fell off between the two of them, both at opposite polarities. So the lesson here is, thank you for being in the class. We're going to learn what ejaculate is. We are going to learn that it is not urine, and we're going to learn that it's completely healthy for the giver. It's completely healthy for the receiver if they decide to watch it, drink it, touch it, smell it. It's safe. And bless her heart, eventually she found her stride and she found her way, and she was able to hold her head up high and know what her body was and wasn't doing. And I think that's a victory for all of us. Lots of women, lots and lots and lots of women, they approach me with things like, hey, we had this magical night and it was so awesome and I was extra juicy and what was that? And how, more importantly, how can I get that over and over and over? Well, I'm going to say it was probably a squirting orgasm, because all of the women themselves said, yeah, it was different. It was different, and I don't know why, but I would love to know. We're going to learn that in the class, and that now won't be you in the place of mysterious mystery. What else did I want to tell you about? The high-powered New York attorney. She came to me off of a hotel takeover where I had taught a class, and it is her culture. Those people from New York, man, they know what they want, they know who they are, and you're lucky if you even get a chance to get asked, because this is their culture and they're pretty direct human beings. Add the fact that she was an attorney, and you can bet that she brought all of that with her into the bedroom, and this squirting orgasm continued to elude her. And it wasn't going over very big against her and her own self-concept, right? It was her ego that was on the line every time she didn't squirt. And the more she didn't squirt and the more she didn't squirt, the angrier she got. So they asked, can you just check us out and see what it is that we are doing, right? I'm bringing this one up because there's a point that we're going to learn in the first module of arousal. And it's an interesting dynamic. You have to push, build, 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 build. And then there's a point where you got to let it go and surrender. And that is what this New York attorney would not do. So it was a challenging case, as it were. And we played with it, and we played with it, and we played with it some more. And then I suggested, to the partner, how about you get behind her? Fuck with her head. Why don't you lead her? Why don't you coach her and let her do the manipulation of her own body? Because she already knows what she needs and how she likes it and how she doesn't like it. So how about, partner, you get out of the way, get behind her, and start talking in her ear. Well, as it turned out, the magic key to her kingdom and her pleasure and her squirting orgasm, and only her partner would know this, right? After having dinner conversation after dinner conversation, her partner knew, once I described the dynamics of arousal and orgasm, her partner knew to whisper in her ear, case closed, walk away, you're done. Now, you might not think that that's sexy talk, but to this particular attorney, oh, he called her counselor too, come to think of it. Counselor. What did he say? Counselor. Job done. It's over. I'm almost sure those were his words. And when he did that, bingo! it was crazy fun for everybody. Yeah. So don't underestimate the power of getting out of your head, even if you have to have somebody lead you there. Oh, and then here's another story I wanted to share. I was at a lifestyle resort where they very oftentimes have workshops on different sexual skill sets. I'm always up for learning something new and how somebody's teaching it. So I went to the squirting one. And honestly, I was appalled. I was offended. I was so appalled. I'm going to call them barbarians, but they did a live demonstration. And after some dialogue, um, that I was, it's fine that I was not in accord with it, by the way. Everybody has a different teaching style. That's not what I'm talking about. But while I was curious about the nature of the style of teaching this that I had never seen before, she got up on a pedestal as a live demonstration, and he totally jackhammered her with his hand as if this is the only way to get women to squirt. And I'm bringing up that story because you have a right to your style and you have a right to your kink. Not going to bag on anybody's style or their kink, but I, for one, am going to tell you, had I not had the background of squirting that I did, I would have been shocked and mortified and never wanted to do that. I never fucking want to ever be jackhammered like that guy. It worked for her. It may work for you. But I want to bring that up because in case you've seen the same demonstration or something that does not appeal to you, I'm going to tell you, your body, your hot spots, your arousal, your orgasm. Sex has its preferences. Find yours. Find yours. This is going to be dialogue of lots of discussion. Think of it like a toolbox, like an artist toolkit. What do you want to use? What do you want to experiment with? It could even be seen like dress up, right? A dress up chest. This is your body. How do you feel today? And what do you want? So, barbarians. It's not for everybody, and it doesn't have to be you in case you don't want that. And the last, I'll leave you with countless emails and texts and smile faces of people who have achieved it. Countless. And this can be you as well. I am always delighted. I even got an orgasm named after me once. She said, "Oh my God, Carrie, it was so long and we were like butter that we named that orgasm after you." What will you do? I encourage you to just take this in as information. Practice, practice, practice. Become what I say, sexual Edison. Become sexual Edisons. Let the mistake making begin. Get out and try. It's your body, your pleasure, and your art.